As we near E3, the Fortnite Switch rumors continue to mount, and the latest batch include interesting information that perhaps Nintendo is getting in on the goods with some very cool Save the World content. While we know nothing for certain, there are a whole lot of possibilities, and it could revitalize that side of Fortnite and bring an exciting exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Gabe is here, and Fortnite is all about Battle Royale. But the latest rumors indicate that Nintendo has taken a lot of interest to the Save the World side of things, which makes sense given the co-op focus of Nintendo Switch. And there is talk that they will be bringing Nintendo exclusive content to that package. Now, Gabe, would that be enough to energize Save the World?
I hope so, right? Because I'm not saying that like no one plays that mode, but it's clearly not as popular as Battle Royale. And what better way to reinvigorate Save the World than to put it on Switch, a platform that is already very much pro co-op and pro just playing with other people, and adding things that are exclusive to the Switch and very, very Nintendo-like. I think that would help, yeah.
And it would be sort of a first for Fortnite in terms of incorporating other properties, other games, and given the insane popularity of Fortnite, a crossover of any kind, I think, would draw a lot of eyeballs. I think you'd get people that wanted to just see it and check it out. You know, it's not BR, so there will be a large portion of the audience that's like, nah, don't even care. But if done well, it could definitely be super sweet. So we've come up with 6 categories where we think Nintendo could include some of their own content in the game, and we're going to go through those categories one by one and talk about what we think might happen and what we think is most likely. And I think the first and most obvious is some sort of Nintendo character skins or costumes.
Yeah, I think it would be a huge mistake for them to not do this. I feel like this is like the bare minimum. Look, Switch is the last platform that doesn't have Fortnite. So once that does happen and you are trying to get people to pay for this mode, because Battle Royale is going to be free, right? That's what we suspect because it's free everywhere else.
Right.
You know, Save the World is not free, and if you want people to pay, what better way than just incentivize them by adding some character skins that are Nintendo exclusive?
Yeah, and I don't think this will be a case of like, hey, straight up Mario is playable. I would much more expect a costume that looks like Mario or a costume that looks like Yoshi. I think that would, one, fit more naturally with the Fortnite brand, and two, it doesn't go all the way to like a Mario plus Rabbids level crossover where they're just straight up giving them the characters. I think, yeah, you would imagine just like outfits, right, that look like Mario, look like Luigi, look like Peach, things like that. To me, that seems very likely, very plausible, and would be still cool enough. Like, hey, that's like a nice little touch.
Yeah, again, out of everything that we're going to talk about today, I think this is the most likely to happen.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Now, the next one to me is the most exciting, and that would be Nintendo enemies in the wave. So remember, Save the World is much more of a tower defense style wave-based mode. You are defending against hordes and hordes of basically zombies, and it would be super cool if all of a sudden you had Goombas and Koopas and Chain Chomps and Bullet Bills and all sorts of things flying at you. I genuinely think that would be so cool because now it would feel like a Mushroom Kingdom themed tower defense game. Again, probably less likely given that it would need the exact characters and behaviors and animations, but man, that would be so freaking sweet to be able to build a structure around a parade of Goombas and just see them all pile onto each other.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue with that is I don't know if Nintendo wants Goombas to be shot at with weapons.
Very fair point.
Yeah, like, I don't think this happens. Yes, it would be very cool, but yeah, Nintendo does not want that. So,
I mean, you do shoot at quite a few Nintendo characters in Mario plus Rabbids.
Very so different type of weapons.
Yeah, it's not, machine guns or whatever, or sniper rifles, so probably unlikely, but I do think that would be, if they wanted to really just jolt this mode, that would be the way to go. And I do wonder, and we'll bring it up here, like, will this be a Mushroom Kingdom only type of inclusion, or are other Switch properties, other Nintendo franchises up for grabs? Could we see something from Splatoon in the world of Fortnite. And I guess if it's more in the form of skins or sort of background inclusions, maybe. But I feel like this is a case where Nintendo probably just pimps out Mario and Co. and leaves the rest alone.
Yeah.
So the next category would be Nintendo backgrounds or environments for the levels. So Save the World takes place across a number of different levels with different looks, and it would be very easy to just throw in like some Mushroom Kingdom iconography and landmarks in the background. So Peach's Castle off in the distance, or even just like structurally having some Mario structures, some question blocks, some things like that would be an easy inclusion. To me, that's kind of dull, but it does change up the visual flair of the world, and it would still be fun to see, this sort of Fortnite meets Mario crossover.
Yeah, I mean, and Fortnite is very big on building, so maybe even build your own castle. That'd be kind of cool. Like the previous one, I don't know how likely it is, but I think I'd be for it.
That ties directly in the next category game, which is Nintendo objects or items for traps, walls, and building. That would be super sweet. Even if it was mere skins to replace the already existing objects, being able to like build with Mario textured walls or coin block traps or just things of that sort would be super freaking cool, and a great inclusion that I don't think that deals with the problem you mentioned of like, oh, we don't want to shoot Nintendo stuff, because now they're not characters, it's just like blocks and textures. But if you could build with like traditional Mario blocks, or you could build, like I mentioned, with there's like a music block trap or a coin block trap, or you could even throw in a chain chomp as a trap, things of that sort would be pretty nifty.
Yeah, see, I think this one could happen as well, especially for like traps and things like that. I can see it happening, and to me, this would be like the second most likely thing to happen.
Yeah, I do think it makes perfect sense. And here's where I'll ask you this question: if this is all to be true, and Nintendo does have exclusive content, do you foresee it ever crossing over into the Battle Royale side?
No, I don't think so. Just because it becomes so difficult. Rocket League, good example, right? You have the cars, the exclusive ones. When you're playing against somebody on another platform, they don't see that. They see something else. Like Nintendo doesn't want their visual. I don't even know what to call it. Their IP. Like they don't want them on another platform. Like that's just not a thing that Nintendo cares for.
Yeah, as exciting as it would be, and as cool and easy of a transition it would be, crossplay instantly shuts that down. They're not going to do that, and it, like you mentioned, it wouldn't work to like, oh my god, I'm on Xbox One, and all of a sudden I see a dude wearing a Donkey Kong outfit. Like, what? And yeah that's not going to be a thing. So sadly, I think all of this does stay on the Save the World side. Let's go to our fifth category, Gabe, which would be Nintendo weaponry. And I know, you're going to instantly shoot this down, but again, looking at Mario plus Rabbids, it was cool to see Nintendo-themed guns and how they affected the world and just weaponry in general. I'd love to fire a freaking bullet bill in Fortnite. I would love to have a gun that like shot coins or made someone start spewing coins. There's a lot of cool options here, and while unlikely, it would be fun. Directly impacting the gameplay, I think, is the best way that Nintendo could take over Fortnite. Unfortunately, it's just like similar to enemies in the waves, probably the least likely.
Yeah, and I mean, like, what do you even like do with this, right? Because the gameplay mechanics for Fortnite, like everything is like so fine tuned. Like the shooting is like very, very good. Like I don't know how much you would want to like mess with that. Like weapon, like skins, I guess like would be fine. But yeah, like just something too different probably isn't good for the game itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are, there's boogie bombs and things like that, and rocket rides and things that are goofier and aren't as hardcore per se. So I do think there would be an opportunity if they wanted to incorporate a weapon in sort of a sillier way. But yeah, for better or worse, I think they stay out of that arena. And the sixth category would be Nintendo challenges. There are daily challenges, login rewards, things of that sort. So if Nintendo wanted to go super basic, they could do like, hey, we've hidden a coin in the world, go find it. Hey, jump on this many enemies to be like Mario and complete this challenge. And this would be, to me, very disheartening and disappointing. But if they wanted a more background, non-invasive way to incorporate Nintendo stuff, you could do something very low-key and impact challenges, daily rewards, and things of that sort.
Yeah, challenges would be fun. I think this is like the one I would like also want the most, besides the character skins. You know, the hide the coin thing, that sounds kind of fun to me, especially since I didn't play a ton of Save the World, so I'm not familiar with the levels. But if you can like just hide one of those, like there's like pinatas and things in the Battle Royale mode, so maybe bringing something like that over, a treasure chest from Zelda, excuse me. That would be like really fun as well. Instead of like just regular treasure chests, like where you open like to get like new weapons, just have a like cool Zelda one like that. I don't know. I think that would be very fun.
Yeah, it's nifty when you describe it that way. And I think the most exciting like dream world scenario is that they do incorporate a plethora of franchises, whether it's via skins, objects and items in the world, just levels, or the challenges, the things we think that are most plausible and most likely. It would be super sweet if they were able to sort of bring in many different Nintendo elements versus just Mario. Like if you did have a Squid Kid suit, or you did have a Donkey Kong hammer, or things of that sort, I think would be really, really cool. But where they go with this is sort of up in the air. In the past, pre-Switch, I would say Nintendo is pretty low-key about their crossovers and not the biggest fan of things like this in a substantial way. But after seeing Miyamoto give the reins of Mario over to Davide and the Rabbids team, I think anything is possible. We'll just have to wait and see for how possible it is. Do you worry at all about sort of the reception or the reveal if the emphasis and focus is on Save the World, or do you think that's just a way for Nintendo and Fortnite to try and, like we said, add some oomph to their now, quote, other mode?
Yeah. I think Save the World is always going to play second fiddle to Battle Royale no matter what.
For sure.
Yeah, you know, just being free in Battle Royale and Save the World not being free. Like, that's automatically a huge like barrier to entry there. But I think this is a way to sell some of that stuff. So, yeah, I don't know.
I definitely think that if they announce this, whatever they spend time on, as long as it's Fortnite with Battle Royale, I don't think it matters what the messaging is. People know Fortnite. People want Fortnite. Will they check out Save the World? I don't know. As soon as you add that price barrier to entry, you know, it's always going to be far less than what it could be if it was free. But maybe the Nintendo content is enough of incentive for some people to give it a whirl. I think it would still be very cool and would make the wait more worth it for Nintendo to take some initiative here. And just for our pie in the sky vision here, what would you ultimately most like? I'm going to say that I would love to see ARMS and Splatoon represented here, even in the form of gear, or just in the form of something level-wise or object-wise, or if you could get like an ARMS, you know, extendable arm for your pickaxe, or if you could get, you know, like I said, like a Squid Kid outfit. Seeing those two properties, I think they fit this world very well in the aesthetic, and I'd love to see Nintendo allow the new IP to merge with Fortnite.
There's already a skin that's like kind of like a pink dinosaur or something in Battle Royale. So if you can just do like a Yoshi one, or like, I'm all about that. Also a Donkey Kong like outfit. Like you mentioned those two, and both of those sound great to me. You know, obviously Splatoon. I love Splatoon, so maybe that. I don't know if Nintendo sees ARMS as like as a big franchise for them to like put it in this. Like I don't know about that one, but honestly, anything would be kind of cool. Like my biggest fear is that they like announce this and there's like nothing exclusive. It's just like, hey, like Fortnite have it, but nothing exclusive at all.
Yeah, and then I think if I want to get a little wild and crazy, if there's any way for them to incorporate objects and items for building, that would be so sweet. But alas, right now this is just a rumor. I think Fortnite is inevitable, but we'll have to see how deep Nintendo goes in that process. Let us know what you would want out of a Nintendo-infused Save the World, and what you think is most likely. Use our 6 categories: character skins, enemies in the waves, backgrounds and environments for levels, objects and items for traps and building, weaponry, or challenges. What do you foresee, and what would you want? Let us know in the comments down below, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and the, hopefully soon, Fortnite announcement. Follow us on Twitter and Discord if you want to be even more involved. We'd love to see you there. There are links in the description below. And until next time, for myself and Gabe, we love ya. We'll be back soon. Until then, though, Switch Force out.